Hey everyone, here we are again. I'm Minister James Moss. This is Continuing Education, and we are in the book of Acts, chapter 23, verses 12 through 22 is what we're covering. And this is going to be a short one, okay? This one is entitled The Plan to Kill Paul, all right? When you're like, okay, so which plan is that? How many? It's been so many plans to kill him. Exactly. The morning after God had pledged to deliver Paul safely to Rome, a group of Jews gathered to plot the murder of the apostle. Paul's nephew learned of the plot and revealed it to the Roman commander in Jerusalem. All right, so verses 12 through 22. Let's make it do what it's supposed to do. All right. And when it was day, certain of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would not eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. And they were more than 40, which made this conspiracy. And they came to the chief priests and elders and said, "We have bound ourselves under a great curse that we will not eat nothing until we have slain Paul. Now therefore ye with the council signify to the chief captain that he bring him down unto you tomorrow, as though ye would inquire something more perfectly concerning him, and we, or ever he come near, are ready to kill him." And when Paul's sister's son heard of their lying in wait, he went and entered into the castle and told Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions unto him and said, "Bring this young man unto the chief captain, for he hath a certain thing to tell him." So he took him and brought him to the chief captain and said, "Paul the prisoner called me unto him and prayed me to bring this young man unto thee, who hath something to say unto thee." Then the chief captain took him by the hand and went with him aside privately and asked him, "What is that thou hast to tell me?" And he said, "The Jews have agreed to desire thee that thou wouldest bring down Paul tomorrow into the council, as though they would inquire somewhat of him more perfectly. But do not thou yield unto them, for there lie in wait for him of them more than 40 men, which have bound themselves with an oath that they will neither eat nor drink till they have killed him. And now are they ready, looking for a promise from thee." So the chief captain then let the young man depart and charged him, "See thou tell no man that thou hast showed these things to me." All right. All right. So starting with verses 12 and 13. The Lord himself had come to Paul in prison and essentially had promised him safe passage to Rome. Meanwhile, these zealous Jews bound themselves with an oath to neither eat nor drink until they had killed Paul. They put themselves under a solemn vow, like a curse if they did not fulfill what they said. Paul had already been granted safe passage to Rome by God himself. Luke must have chuckled as he was writing these words, knowing that these sincere but misguided Jews would have to go without food for a long time. It would be 10 years or so before Paul's death in Rome. Verses 14 and 15. This group of over 40 men announced their oath to the leading priests and other leaders. Their plan was to get the high council to have Paul return to a meeting with them under the guise of examining his case more fully and exposing their contemptible character. They planned to kill him on the way. Evidently, the Jewish leaders thought this was a good idea and went along with it. To these leaders, politics and position had more importance than God. They were ready to plan another murder, just as they had done with Jesus. They also revealed the flimsiness of their case against Paul, or this also revealed the flimsiness of their case against Paul. They knew they had no case, but they so desperately wanted to get rid of him that they were willing to stoop to any means to do so. As always, however, God, not the council, was in control. Verses 16 through 19. This is the only biblical reference to Paul's family. Some scholars believe that Paul's family disowned him when he became a Christian. Paul wrote of having suffered the loss of everything for Christ. Paul's nephew, who is never named, was evidently able to visit Paul even though Paul was in protective custody. Roman prisoners were often accessible to their relatives and friends who could bring them food and other amenities. How the nephew heard of the plan is not stated. Once Paul received the information, he immediately sent his nephew to the commander. Although God had told Paul that he would go to Rome, God did not explain how he would be kept safe. There is a healthy balance here of Paul trusting in God's sovereignty and yet wisely utilizing the God-sent provisions that would come his way: his Roman citizenship, the Roman soldiers, the Roman prison, and now a piece of important information from a relative. Paul trusted God, but he kept his eyes open to see just how the Father would deliver him. Verses 20 through 22, Paul's nephew gave a detailed report of the plot. The lad even knew about the oath. How he obtained the information is unknown, but there is no doubt about its accuracy. Evidently, the ambush was already in place, simply waiting for the commander's order to send the prisoner to the council chambers. The commander wisely told Paul's nephew to keep his silence on the report he had given him. After this, the only member of Paul's family mentioned anywhere in the New Testament disappeared into the silence of unrecorded history. All right, and so that does it for this video of the plan or the plot to kill Paul. All right, and I hope that, that you're learning a lot from these things, and basically you see the determination that Paul had, and the walk that he had with God, how God was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. All right. Until next time, God bless you. God keep you, and always keep studying.